Greetings, Bat Family, and welcome to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can find us all over the internet on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast, you'll find us. If you're a big fan of the show and you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. You go to patreon.com/holybatcast. As always, a big thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all your support. You just make it that much easier to keep the show running, and it does mean a lot. We're part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. And finally, I am your host, Andy DiGenova. You can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving season and prepping for the big holiday season. And I'm excited to give you somewhat of a Thanksgiving-themed episode of Holy BatCast. And I asked a very special friend to join, someone who loves Thanksgiving viewing, I think, as much as me. And we go back and forth about things to watch for Thanksgiving. And so that is our dear friend, Joe Fornarotto, who was just on the last episode. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's going on, Andy?
Not much. I'm just, hanging out, prepping, getting ready for turkey. I'm doing stomach stretches so I can eat as much turkey and stuffing as possible. All that stuff.
Yeah, I try to get a little fast going for a week. I mean, by fast by my standards is eating like a normal person for a week, and then hopefully I'll catch up a little bit by Thanksgiving.
Or do you do the Joey Tribbiani, which is you eat chips in the morning because it's like stretching before a race?
Yes, and wear maternity pants.
Yes, yeah. Well, great, and yeah, I mean, you are one of my Thanksgiving watching pals who makes sure that you give Thanksgiving its due, and I appreciate that and I respect it. So when I knew I wanted to get an episode out, you were very graciously available, and I was like, well, it'd be great if you and I could figure out something Thanksgiving to do, and we did. It was down to the wire, but we figured it out.
Yeah, not bad. It was, we don't have a lot of choices, but this one would give us an easy holiday viewing at any season, it seems.
Yes. So, well, here we go. Well, we're going to catch up on just like what's happening. There's not a ton of news, but I thought we'd at least touch on the news that we don't have or what little we do. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about Teen Titans Go, the first Thanksgiving episode. It's just called Thanksgiving. And then we still got emails sitting in there waiting, so we'll try to get those done, and then we'll see how that goes. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, first thing I also want to give everybody the heads up at home is we're recording this a little early because I am about to leave town for a few weeks. So don't keep an eye on your feed after this episode. It's going to be a couple of weeks. I am heading out to California to find a place to live, which is exciting. So we're going out for Thanksgiving. We're going out to do some work. We're also going to find hopefully a place to live, find a daycare, do all that grown-up stuff before we move across the country. So I just want to be transparent. So anybody who's wondering, like, again, the show right now, it hasn't been weekly because of everything going on with me prepping to move across the country, starting a new job, Catherine and the broken ankle, like just a lot. But yeah, so just FYI, it's going to be a few weeks, but hopefully we will be back in December in time for at least a holiday Christmas episode. We'll see how that goes. With that said, my first reaction when we were going to record today, Joe, was like, hey, it's been a while since we've done a news update. Let me see what kind of news is out there. And I'll tell you, it's pretty slim pickings. There's really not much happening in the DC. I mean, there's stuff happening, but there's no like real concrete news to speak of.
Yeah, we're at the point now where it's so slim that they are trying so hard to come up with new articles. And we're like, did we know that already or not? And I mean, you could have waited another couple months and maybe scrounged up a half an episode.
I know, right? It's so crazy because I did a little bit of Googling and I was like, surely there is stuff, and not a lot. Just it's crazy. I mean, like little bits. So I did pull together a quick little list of things that we haven't really discussed on the show that are happening. Like for example, we finally had it confirmed that there is a 2-part Nightfall animated movie coming. Mm-hmm. I think they officially announced that like at New York Comic-Con, something like that.
Yeah, New York Comic-Con.
But it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, didn't we know that? And what I got from you guys is like, well, I don't know if it was confirmed. I think that it was heavily rumored, but in my brain, it was already confirmed. So when they announced it, I was like, yeah, I know. But I guess that was just my brain. But yeah, anyway,
I think it was one of those things where it was like a domain name, where like these people that like keep track of who purchases domain names saw that Nightfall was purchased by DC or something. It was something crazy like
Okay.
that.
All
And
right.
that's where we all kind of saw that and we're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, maybe that was it. I don't know. I just when I was announced, I was like, yeah, I thought we already knew, but anyway, I don't know. Anyway, regardless, here's my thought. 2-part Nightfall animated movie, hell yeah. I'm in. I'm in. Sounds exciting. Sounds awesome. Here is my big concern. It is the same creative team who did Crisis on Infinite Earths and who did
War World.
Justice League War World,
Yeah.
and who did Green Lantern Beware My Power, all movies that if you go back, I really did not enjoy. So I don't have a lot of faith in this team. And so I'm a little concerned that it's them again. Because yeah, I feel like the last decent one they made was that Justice Society one with Wonder Woman. I thought that one was pretty good. After that, it's been pretty rough in the DC animated movies world. And so hey, maybe this will be a rebound. I'll be rooting for them because I want a good Batman animated movie, but I am concerned. How do you
Yeah.
feel?
I mean, I know we go back and forth on the Beware My Power one because I enjoyed that one, but I'm hoping that this is more of a faithful adaptation of the source material. And I think, I mean, did they do the scripts on all those movies? And are they doing the script on Nightfall? How much are they involved? Are they just directing?
I think it is the same writer director team.
Okay.
But I would have to go back and check the credits for every one of those movies that I mentioned.
And I know there's a lot of different moving parts with those movies as far as who's in charge and who's determining like what kind of story they're doing. We did hear rumors that Tim Drake would be involved in this, so I'm hoping this is going to be a more straightforward adaptation than what they did with Crisis. And War World seemed like a bait and switch just for the sake of doing a bait and switch that nobody really needed to be baited and switched for.
Right.
I mean, War World's not the story to be like, hey, gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
kidding. Yeah. It's an
Yeah.
Elseworlds. Yeah. What's the word for it? What are those movies called when it's like a bunch of shorts? Anyway, whatever. It'll come to me. But yeah, so
it was
an anthology movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the director is Jeff Wamester, and I feel bad talking shit, but my God, these last few have been terrible. Especially the Crisis ones. They were just god awful. So yeah,
I feel like the hard part with Crisis to me was I think the first one seemed interesting. And then after that, I was like, all right, where are we going with this? And it was just long. So with Nightfall, I mean, they could have a tendency to maybe condense it a little bit, it being 2 parts, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. It could go either way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the good thing is like the Nightfall, the story is already there for you, so it's hard to screw it up, but also, you know, War World is the same. So like, I just don't know. Cause yeah, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like Hush. Like, it's like, oh, they already gave it. Here it is. You just need to do this. And they're like, actually, no, we have a good way to ruin it. And I'm just afraid they're going to do the same thing.
Hush is probably the most frustrating one for me because I still feel like 90% of that movie is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I agree. The first 2/3, it's one of my favorites.
I love what they did with Catwoman in that. And I'm not the biggest fan with the whole Batcat stuff in the comics, but I feel like that was probably the best interpretation of the Batman Catwoman relationship, even up until the ending. And the Riddler stuff is where it lost me because I don't think you needed to do it. That again,
so
that's another bait and switch that we didn't need. You know, like just make Hush.
Yeah. Anyway, I am still gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna look forward to Nightfall because a 2-part Nightfall animated movie sounds great to me. Sounds like a lot of fun. I just hope that they're up to it, and I hope that it's great. I like the idea that Tim Drake's in it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Batman Part 2 is allegedly moving forward, but that's one where again, like, we know there's a script. We've heard Colin Farrell say it's a great script. I think James Gunn said it's a great script. I think that Robert Pattinson said it's a great script. And I think that's all we have heard. I don't think we've gotten anything past that. Last week, I don't know if you saw this, I started to see the rumors floating around again that Oscar Isaacs is in talk to play the villain. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that was a rumor 2 years ago. So is this just someone recycling an old rumor? Because like you said, there's not much to actually report on. So it's like, Oscar Isaacs, he's everybody's talking about him because of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Let's say he's in the running for the Batman Part 2 again. That'll drive traffic. But again, that's such an old rumor that I don't put much weight in it until I hear something for real.
Yeah, and I think it was rumored as Harvey Dent too.
Yeah.
It just seems like, again, more of that throwing crap against the wall. Eventually something will stick, and there's nobody holds these trades accountable. So it's like, hey, if we're wrong 10 times but we get the traffic and we're right once, hey, we got something out of it.
Yeah, the game is not being right. The game is getting the traffic.
Yeah, and nobody seems to care.
Yeah. So, yeah, Batman Part 2, allegedly it starts filming in April, but again, that's really all we got right now. Right? Unless you've heard something.
Not with the Batman, no.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like you said, everyone keeps saying the script is great. I have not heard anyone say it's okay. Like it's just the
Who's
same.
going to say that?
I know, that's the thing. Like I love when that's like the news. Oh, this guy says the script that he's doing is great. Like, yeah,
I know, right? Like I want Colin Farrell to go, it's all right.
That goes up there with my pet peeve of B-list actor wants to play A-list star. It's like, well, no crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's so funny. Like I want them to go, yeah, we read the script for the Batman Part 2.
It could use some work. Hopefully they get it taken care of before we start filming,
Right? Yeah. I've read better. But whatever, we'll see how that goes as it proceeds. I did see something about The Brave and the Bold, speaking of Batman movies, where Andy Muschietti, because he's out there doing the press for Welcome to Derry, the HBO Max series, which I still haven't watched. I hear it's great. I just need to get to it. But
I watched the first 2 episodes and it is really good.
It's one of those where Catherine's like, I want to watch it together. And I agree, but getting the time together is the fun part. Regardless, he's out there because of that. And, he'd been asked about The Brave and the Bold. And he said something kind of like, can't share anything right now, but we'll be able to share something soon. So again, take that as you will.
It's nice to hear that he's at least still talking about it. And
right,
he's not completely gone from the project. It
Yeah.
seems like they've changed trajectory a little bit with it. I know originally it was definitely going to be Damian. They have not committed to Damian in a while. So I'm curious how much of the story has changed, because I think someone asked James Gunn about it and he said, we're just going to have to wait and see because the story has changed. He didn't say specifically Damian wasn't involved anymore, but he's not as committed to confirming anything at this point with the story. So that, honestly, I mean, I know there are a lot of Damian defenders, and I'm not a, anti-Damian person, but I'd be okay if they decided, let's change it up a little bit and keep it simpler to start the new Batman story and maybe get to Damian in the future.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm not a Damian lover, and that's, that I've been very honest about that. But it's like, for our first big screen Robin in now over 25 years, do we really want to jump to Damian?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I get it from like being able to mine stories out of it. And I think that is Damian's biggest strength, is it's really easy to create stories around him because he is a bit of a loose cannon and he needs to be reined in and he wants to do the right thing, but he often does the wrong thing. So there's just a lot of potential there of him and Batman clashing and him learning lessons, et cetera, et cetera. So I get that. But again, it's like, we just want to jump over 3 other Robins to get to it. It feels weird.
And we haven't gotten a good Batman and Robin story on the screen yet.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just excited to hear. Hopefully we'll get news soon. That would be nice because it's Batman fans are waiting. But good news, Joe. You don't have to wait too long for new Batman content because there's a brand new Batman animated series on Prime.
Yeah, Prime Video.
Batfam. The series that originated with Merry Little Batman. So I'll say this. This one feels like it's kind of just getting dumped out there, right? Like I've seen a couple little clips on like Facebook from the DC site, but otherwise I haven't seen much of anything. So it doesn't feel like it's being heavily promoted. But the trailer that I did see, again, I think it was posted by DC or the Batman page, whatever. I watched it, the trailer, and I was like, I just can't. Life is too short. It is obviously not made for me. That's fine. But we even talked, it's like, oh, do that? Do we review the first episode of that? And I was like, I just don't want to like come on and just be a negative Nelly the whole time, because it's not made for me. The trailer made me, like go, no, I don't want to watch that. Like, that is not a Batman show that does anything for me. And so I just left it. I couldn't do it.
So I will admit I had the same reaction that you did when Merry Little Batman was announced with the animation and all that. But I got a lot more out of that little short movie than I expected to. I thought it was a lot of fun. We covered it, and I still think the animation of the characters is god awful. But the backgrounds and the movement on, the actual animation itself, I thought was done really well in that movie. So like it looked Christmassy. That's the kind of like I forgave a lot because of the story being fun and all that. With that being said, I wasn't really crazy about getting a series based on that animation or the characters themselves. I did try watching the first episode. It's not terrible. It's just not something I was interested in while I was watching it. And that's the hard part is like I said to you, and this is probably the most negative I'll be when talking about anything, but like it felt like a Teen Titans Go, like a poor man's Teen Titans Go. Like, I think like it didn't seem like an action show. It didn't seem like they were ever going to fight villains. The villains are there, the villains are around, but it's a Bat family show. And again, I didn't finish it, so it might get to that point. But from what I saw, it just seemed like character stuff and the family dynamic with characters that I really didn't care about or know. Um, so like, yes, Robin is there, which is Damien, but then there were other characters involved. Like, oh, I don't even remember who they were. Like, I'm trying to remember if Talia was involved because Roz played a big part, but there was some other characters that I was just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with these characters.
Well, and that's
So
just it. Like, it's marketing itself as a Bat family show.
yeah,
Great, but I don't even recognize half the people who are in this alleged Bat family. So it's not
exactly.
even like the traditional Bat family. It's
No.
not Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl. Like, and if it were that, I'd probably be a little more tempted. But it also looked like I'm like, I don't even know who any of these people are.
Yeah, like I could have powered through if that was the case, and that's kind of where I forgave a lot of the Merry Little Batman movie. Was it was a fun story with Damien and Bruce, and the family dynamic there for a Christmas Story with Alfred. So they just expanded, but they didn't explain who these people were in the first episode that I saw. Maybe they're getting to that point. I really, like I said, I didn't give it. I can't say I didn't give it a fair shake, but I wasn't going to try to like it. I
Yeah.
just, it's not enough for me to go out of my way to watch it. And again, it's not for me. I think you're right. We're dumping it, and dumping it is the poor choice of words because Prime paid a lot of money to get these rights to some of these animated series for Batman, apparently. But why? Like, well,
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Like
don't
with
get it.
Batman Cape Crusader, it felt like they really were putting their might behind it, right? Like they
Mhm.
were excited that they bought it, they were excited to promote it, and it felt like it was a bigger event. And for this, I saw that trailer and I was like, wait, what? This is still happening? And then it was like, and it's coming next week. And I was like, oh, well,
Yeah,
crap. Okay. Um, so it's like they had already bought it. It was already being made, but it does just feel like they're sort of being like, we'll put it out there. Maybe we'll get lucky, but they don't seem to have much faith in it. And even
and I hope.
that poster, I think, Catherine sent it to me and I was like, yeah, I know I can't. I just can't.
I mean, I know kids have different, you know, um affinity for different types of animation that like we're not going to understand, but I even if kids see that they might think it's a little weird, but they might be more willing to go with it than us. But also I don't know about your kids, but like my kids don't really go to Prime Video to watch stuff.
No, they don't.
So that's where I think DC is missing out by this not being on HBO Max to get kids into Batman, which is what these shows are supposed to do. Or maybe we're dodging a bullet by kids not watching this to get into Batman because this isn't what we would like them to be watching to get into it. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems weird that it's on Prime, and it just seems weird that they dumped all the episodes on there at once. I mean, Cape Crusader, yeah, I don't even remember outside of our people or our circles, how much did Prime really even promote that? Is it just because we liked that more?
I mean, that's a great question. That is certainly possible too, and I'll admit to that. Is like because I was more interested and I paid more
Yeah,
attention to it. Maybe it felt like they promoted it more. Um, I don't know,
yeah.
but
Speaking of that, though, I mean, geez, it's been over a year and we still haven't heard anything about season 2. Like that kind of stuff really aggravates me because, and maybe it's because when we were kids, we would get like 50 something episodes a season. Animation quality be damned, we didn't care. Um, I'd rather them almost not care so much about the animation at this point. Can you just put it out so people can actually watch it before they forget about it?
yeah, it is bizarre. Anyway, Bat fam, anybody out there who's watching it, maybe we're wrong, and you can tell us that. That's okay. It's yeah, it wasn't going to be for me, and it makes me sad that it's like, oh, there's a new Batman animated series, and I have zero interest.
Yeah.
And even like we reviewed Merry Little Batman 2, and I liked it more than I expected to like it, but that doesn't mean I liked it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I use it as background now just because it is pretty to look at as far as the background goes. Again, the characters look
Yeah.
obscure. Like there's no defending what they did with the characters, but I think it does look Christmassy. So I am fine putting it on for 45 minutes in the background. I mean, granted, there are much better things to look at for background noise at Christmas, but it's just, yeah, it
Yeah.
depresses me that it's not exactly what I wanted,
I
but it
know, and
wasn't.
that's just it. Like, it could have been an all timer, but they had to go this weird ass route.
And the story was fine. Like I didn't have an issue
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
story. I
Story
thought it
was
was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
And you know what? It feels like more Bat fam than this is. Remember where they did that Aquaman show on
Yes.
HBO Max?
100%.
And I watched the first 10-15 minutes, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
this is not made for me. I'm out.
And that thing is gone.
And it's gone. Yeah. So
I
the same
think you
thing.
can
It's like
buy.
you were coming off a $1 billion Aquaman movie, and that was your decision. That's what you decided was a good way to continue the brand. Wow.
And then when that failed, they said, let's do it again for Batman.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's neither here nor there. Enough
Yeah.
negativity. Something I'm looking forward to is Man of Tomorrow. Ironically, Man of Tomorrow also starts filming early in the new year, and we know more about that than we do the Batman Part 2.
No negativity. No more negativity.
I was going to say no negative November, but I already ruined that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Man of Tomorrow, man, they're like going hard. It is time. There was also something that came out a couple weeks ago that like Forbes said that Superman made like $125 million profit or something like that. Anyway, because there's been a debate about like how successful was it. And I guess a lot of that also was because there were so many promotions and partnerships and sponsorships and all that it was profitable. That's the story everybody's going with. It certainly wasn't a flop. You know how the internet works. Something is either the best thing or the worst thing. It either is a massive success or a huge flop. And, there's no room for a moderate hit, which is, I would call Superman a moderate hit. It was successful, but it was not the $1 billion juggernaut that I think anyone had wanted it to be. Regardless, they're moving hard on the sequel, Man of Tomorrow. And so we're starting to get little rumors and news. And in a recent episode, I think it might have been the Halloween episode, right around that time, a couple weeks ago, there were rumors for casting character descriptions, I think, for the movie where the villain was included, but they didn't say who it was. But they said that it was like prosthetics heavy. And so from that, people said it's either Brainiac or Mongol, not Mondo, Mongol. And then I got an email like, hey, like feelings on this. And now it seems like The Wrap has quote unquote confirmed in the rumor that it is indeed Brainiac that will be the villain in Man of Tomorrow. So, with all that said, how do you feel, Joe?
Yeah, and I think also James Gunn, like someone asked James Gunn about like the post he made about um is Brainiac confirmed? He's like, well, I don't even remember the post he made. It was a picture of something that everyone could. It was a picture of a brain, right? And he's like, well, it's not like I didn't know what that would mean to people when I posted it. So like, he was almost being tongue in cheek about it. Like, yeah, Brainiac is in it. You know?
Okay, I didn't see that. That's great.
Yeah. Um, that was prior to it actually being confirmed. But I mean, we all
Well,
hope.
again, let's just say nothing is confirmed until James Gunn
Yeah.
or WB or DC Studios sends out a confirmation.
They throw that word out confirmed like it's
Hashtag
nothing now.
confirmed. Old school. Hashtag
Yeah.
confirmed.
Everything is confirmed by rumors now.
So the Wrap can say it's confirmed. It's still a rumor until it's confirmed. But anyway, regardless, that's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. So we all kind of hoped it would be Brainiac. I still don't know what this story is with everything that has been said about it, where Gunn has said it's not really a sequel. It's a Luthor story first, which is really intriguing to me, but also it's a Luthor story first with Brainiac as the villain. Obviously, Superman's going to play a big part, so I think we're all assuming it's going to be Luthor and Superman teaming up to fight Brainiac. If Luthor's the main story, or I mean, is Luthor going to betray Superman and be part of the Brainiac scheme at the end? Who knows? But as far as Brainiac, I'm really excited to finally get Brainiac in a movie. The only Brainiac I've seen on screen that I really loved is Krypton.
Yeah.
That I think that was perfect, to be
Yeah.
honest. So yeah, I'm excited. I still like they're fast tracking this, which is really fun. It seemed like it was just so far ahead, even when Superman came out, and we're already getting some news on it. And yeah, we've all wanted Brainiac for a long time, and to see that we're finally going to get it in a follow up to what we got last year is really exciting. Or this year, sorry, earlier this year.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like I said it then, I'll see it now. Is like we were so overdue for Brainiac in a movie. I think that most fans agree. Like it's past due. It's time, and so this is a great way to do it. Like I get that James Gunn is like, well, it's not exactly a sequel. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a it's a movie starring David Corenswet as Superman and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor taking on some sort of otherworldly force, probably Brainiac. Sorry, it's a sequel. Again, like play semantics all you want. But
I feel like it's like the same thing as BVS. Like it's not a sequel, but it is a sequel.
No, it is. It is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or they said the same thing about Wonder Woman 1984. Oh, it's not a sequel. Yes, yes, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. But like we were saying earlier, I was just amused by this. Oh, Brainiac confirmed. And then we had to dig in to find out where it came from. It came from the Wrap. And I'm like, okay, so again, it's quiet, not much going on. 2 weeks ago, we heard it's either Brainiac or Mongol. How hard is it to go, hey, Brainiac's more likely. Let's just say it's that.
50-50 shot.
Yeah, we got a 50-50 shot. Let's just say it's the more likely of the two. Let's say we confirmed it. And hey, we got news to run. We can drive traffic.
Yep. And if they're wrong, we're wrong.
Yep. And if we're wrong, they changed course. Not us, right? And again, not sorry to be cynical about it, but that's the way, the scoop game works these days. Yep. But regardless, it is the more likely. It's the one that makes the most sense, and I am all for it. So I hope to goodness it is correct, because I think that Brainiac would be awesome, and we all hoped he would be in the first Superman movie. Didn't happen, but him coming into the next, I think, is going to be great.
Agreed.
Could he be set up in Supergirl?
Oh, that'd be interesting. I keep forgetting. So that's just so cool. Like we haven't gotten anything with Supergirl, and that comes out next year. So like we were complaining kind of a little bit, not really complaining, but like tongue in cheek complaining that we haven't gotten a lot of movement on a lot of the projects that were promised. But pretty quickly we're getting some content, that we didn't know about.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's like Supergirl. We know it's a very off-world story. She's going to be out there in space, mucking it up with aliens. What if that allows the setup for Brainiac to then, move into Man of Tomorrow?
Or we don't know how much Lanterns is going to be involved with the
Yeah.
greater story. We
Yeah.
haven't gotten anything with that yet. We got a lot of fun stuff coming next year. Quickly.
I had seen something that like the Supergirl trailer was supposed to be coming very soon. So I've just been kind of keeping an eye out. I didn't know how true that was, but it's probably been about a week since I've seen it. So I guess I'll just keep waiting. But it would make sense.
Usually they do that around the holidays for summer movies, right? When do
Yeah,
we
that's
get
what. Yeah,
Superman
because
teaser?
we got Superman at Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I wonder how much they would try to avoid the teaser for Doomsday, because um, that's supposed to come with Avatar.
Yeah. But that movie doesn't come out until next Christmas.
Oh, that got pushed
It
back.
got pushed. It was going to be May, and now it got pushed to Christmas.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe those rumors are wrong then, because that's
It could still be true. I could see that
yeah.
being true. Then they have a whole year to hype it
I
up.
totally forgot that got pushed back.
Yeah, but even so, yes, a lot of the big summer movies want to have a trailer in theaters during the holiday season, and that's what happened with Superman last year. And so it would make sense that they would want to do the same for Supergirl because it comes out in June.
That's right. Spider-Man is the summer too.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, we'll see if that Supergirl trailer happens. Oh, there was one other thing about Man of Tomorrow that I had not seen, but you had. So tell me about that.
So again, only rumors. I don't know how that stuff works with these casting calls, and I don't know who gets that information and how credible it is. But of course, the internet runs with this stuff, and I don't care enough ignorantly to look into it as much as I probably should. So take it with a huge grain of salt, but I'm sure you've seen it out there if you're on the internet. Apparently, there was a casting call for a tall, muscular built woman in their mid to upper 20s, and all the details are a little fuzzy with that. But everyone is speculating that it is for Wonder Woman. Now, again, I could see how you get there. It could be for anything, let's be honest. I mean, but yes, I can see why people would jump right to Wonder Woman. Or it could just be some random woman that they're using for a scene and they want her to look like that. Who knows? And there's nothing to confirm it here or there. We will find out, I'm sure. I think it was Jamie that said this about BVS, where it's like, how awesome would it be if they kept Wonder Woman a secret the entire marketing campaign for BVS? It would be awesome if they found a way to do that for for Man of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, if they're going to put Wonder Woman in that film, we're probably going to know about it.
Yeah. So here, I'll start negative and I'll get positive. My first thing is like, hey, what if a couple years ago, as they were casting Superman, they said, okay, we're looking for a female in, her mid to late 20s who is athletic with dark brown hair.
Going with this, yeah.
And everyone could say, oh my God, they're doing Wonder Woman, and it's the engineer.
Oh, I was thinking even Hawkgirl. Yeah. Like,
or Hawkgirl, but yeah, and it's the engineer, right?
Yep.
So it's like with James Gunn, it's not always the obvious choice, right?
Yes.
With that said, God, I hope it is, because how cool would that be to use Man of Tomorrow to then introduce the next member of the Trinity? I would be all for it. So I really hope it is Wonder Woman, but I'm going to try to keep my expectations in check because, yeah, it could go any way at this point. And so it's like huge grain of salt, but man, that would be very cool if Wonder Woman ended up in that movie.
I honestly don't remember even if it said dark hair or not.
I was using that as just as
now I'm thinking about it because like, what if it's just like what if they do some weird take on Power Girl?
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just a thought, but that I think would be awesome if it were to come.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be great. All right. Well, anyway, that's kind of what I got for what's happening out there on the DC landscape. It's not nothing, but it's a lot of like, maybe. So we just, I guess sometimes it's nice to enjoy the lull, but also it just feels a little weird.
Yeah.
But it is Thanksgiving, and as we were trying to figure out what to watch, I added another Thanksgiving episode to your rotation, Joe. So here we go. Let's talk about Teen Titans Go Thanksgiving.
Perfection. Thanksgiving style.
Thanksgiving!
The best holiday after Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's, New Year's, and my birthday? Oh, yeah!
Sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. Classy.
Oh, I cannot wait!
Dig in!
Huh.
There will be no digging until I say so. No one can eat until a very special guest arrives. Batman.
All right, Teen Titans Go Thanksgiving. This one aired on November 26th of 2014. This is from season 2, episode 23. Joe, had you already seen this one, or was this new to you?
I feel like I saw this years ago when, upon your recommendation to check out all the Teen Titans Go holiday episodes, I had to have seen it. And that was kind of my introduction to Teen Titans Go, was all the holiday episodes.
Well, same. I mean, I know I've said it before, but yeah, that was my gateway drug into the show. I couldn't get into the show, and then I think it was Jamie who was like, hey, they have a lot of Halloween episodes. And I was like, well, crap, now I got to do that. And I bought the holiday pack. So it had a couple Halloween episodes, a couple Christmas episodes. It had Thanksgiving. It had New Year's. It has Black Friday. And I watched those, and that was what finally made me go, okay, I can get on board. This is funny. I enjoy it. So yeah, the holidays, man. I'm a sucker for the holidays. And so, yeah, this is a very early one, but it is a very Thanksgiving-y one. So this one, it is, you said you found, where did you have to watch it? Prime?
It's on Hulu. Because obviously HBO, HBO Max removed the first 6 seasons of Teen Titans Go. They only show the newer episodes, I guess.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so I watched it through Disney Plus. I have a Hulu account, but it's on Hulu.
Okay.
And yeah.
I just watched my copy because I bought it. And that's the thing about Teen Titans Go, though, is like, I think the show is still going, is like, as they do new holiday episodes, I just buy those because then they're really easy to access. Yeah. So yeah, I already own this one, but it's Thanksgiving. And Robin is planning the perfect Thanksgiving dinner. And him setting up the table and the plates and the meal. And he's so meticulous, and he makes the hand turkeys like we used to do in grade school. He's setting it up, and it's going to be Thanksgiving. The Teen Titans show up. They're so excited. They think it looks great. I like when Cyborg says, oh, it's Thanksgiving, the best holiday after Christmas, Halloween, New Year's, Valentine's, and my birthday. And then Raven goes, ooh, marshmallows on top of sweet potatoes. Classy. So they're very excited about the meal, and they're going to dig in, and we find out they can't dig in because it's got to wait until Batman arrives. Batman's coming to Thanksgiving. So it is even better that we can do this episode for Holy BatCast because it is a Batman-centric episode. He's not in it much, but it's a Batman-centric episode. It counts.
He plays a pretty big part in the background, at least, of the episode.
He does. He does. Yeah. They keep waiting for him to arrive, and he does eventually arrive, which is good. So yeah, it's Robin is just so excited that Batman is coming to dinner, and so he's trying to make a perfect Thanksgiving for Batman. Of course, it's not going to go that way because the Teen Titans are insane, and so Trigon shows up. And he just wants a perfect Thanksgiving with Raven, and of course, he can't help himself from being super evil. So he ends up trying to turn Cyborg into a turkey and killing and eating him.
What does he say when he arrives? Like one of my favorite lines. It's so stupid. He's like, "I'm not here as a villain.
As a demon.
As a dad.
I'm not here as a demon. I'm here as a dad."
Like randomly just shows up at Thanksgiving. They fight him like in every episode, and then he just comes over for dinner.
Yep. And then Beast Boy invites rats, and more rats keep coming and keep coming. They ruin the meal, they ruin the turkey, and because they ruin the turkey, that's why Trigon is like, "Oh, I got this," and he decides he's gonna kill and eat Cyborg. And so Robin's trying to keep it perfect. The rats are out of control. Trigon's trying to kill Cyborg. Raven's trying to stop Trigon. Starfire is a bit of a wild card, just kind of doing her thing. But
Starfire is insane in this episode. I love it.
Well, she creates her own side dish, which is the Burp Glorp, which is a bowl of like a purple blob creature that seems to be sentient.
Sure.
And then also she brings in the football to Thanksgiving. in that at a certain point she just tackles Robin in full football gear. She gets all the terminology wrong. So would I think she says it's a punt off or something like that. Anyway, so she's just causing chaos while everything else is happening. And it just keeps getting more and more insane. And Robin just keeps checking the Batman GPS to see where he is. And he's like, oh, come on, he can't be far. He's got to be coming. A few more minutes. And just like every few minutes, something else goes wrong. And like many of the Thanksgiving episodes we've talked about, especially on Real Fans, is like, Thanksgiving, you have the perfect plan and it always goes awry, and this is no different. So a couple of favorite things. I love the nod to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's I was shocked at how much they did with it, and then they gave him like his own suit, and then they went back to the traditional suit because I couldn't remember what he actually looked like on the show.
Yes, he always kind of looks like that, which is he's very blue, very cartoony, very Teen Titans Go-ish. But yes, that's how he tends to look. But yes, like the little nod to Batman the Animated Series and the way they recreated that shot from the opening was perfect. And then they included Robin in it as well, which I thought was great. So yeah, love that. I love how they hit on so many Thanksgiving tropes throughout the episode. I think that's great. And so, yeah, it's funny. It's quick. It's Teen Titans Go, right? Of course it is. But it really celebrates so many aspects of the holiday. But Joe, what did you think?
Yeah, Teen Titans Go is like sensory overload. Like there were so many things I had to watch, and I'm like, oh, okay, I missed half of that joke. I got to rewind it. The cyborg thing with the holidays, my favorite holiday, like you said before, after Christmas, Halloween, my birthday, like all that. I rewound that I think twice because I had to catch everything in it. This is like a sitcom episode. It really is. It's like a dialed up to 11 sitcom animated episode. It's so good though. It's so much fun. I think my favorite part is Starfire doing the crazy football gag with everything being wrong, but she's so excited about being a cheerleader for football and like acting out all this stuff. It's like a kid doing like a Thanksgiving play, but she's doing a football play. The Beast Boy saying he invited a homeless family, that killed me. With it being the rats.
Yes.
Like, well, they're a homeless family. They're
a homeless family of disgusting rats.
Robin kept talking about the seating arrangements. Trigon couldn't come at first. That was his initial plan.
I love the seating chart and the fact that he's like, everything has to be perfect. The dishes, the decorations, the seating chart, but the food. So yeah, I love that they keep coming back to the seating chart.
Yeah, so Teen Titans Go, just to go to show you how long Teen Titans Go has been on. Jamie's kids are like in college now, I think.
Yeah, they are.
He watched, his daughters were the ones that were really into this, and that's what got us to kind of start watching it when he recommended doing all the holiday episodes. And I don't know if I've ever seen an episode that wasn't a holiday episode. I've maybe seen like 2 or 3. Like I watched the Zack Snyder one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
The Halloween one this year was a lot of fun with the Pixel. You said you didn't watch that.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this show is just bonkers. It really is. But it's just like all the stuff that really made me not want to watch it is kind of what I've embraced while watching these holiday episodes. Like the animation isn't exactly what I would choose to watch, but it's just so fun. And yeah, like there's really not a lot, it really does. It feels more like a sitcom than it does a superhero show. They don't fight anybody.
Right.
But this feels more Thanksgiving-y than a lot of even Thanksgiving sitcom episodes. They do a really good job with all their holiday episodes of really embracing whatever holiday they're doing in their own crazy way. It's a typical sitcom episode, but in the Teen Titans style where it's just off the wall. I'm surprised there wasn't like a killer turkey in this episode that was attacking everybody, and that was the villain of the episode.
I mean, I would not be surprised if that is in a later.
That's probably a later one, and that's probably where I'm getting it from. Is I remember that in my head. Because like the evil, what is it? The evil Easter Bunny is the Easter one, right?
Oh yeah, he's not evil. He's just gross. But yes, it's so bizarre. The Easter Bunny. like you said, all the reasons I didn't like the show when it started and I couldn't get into it is all the stuff I appreciate now, which is, saying something. And it is, it's silly, it's ridiculous, it's crazy, but the animation is, it's stylized, but it's not bad. And what I love is when they do like the full screen, big, massive, like almost like their version of a splash page where it's like Thanksgiving feast mode or Happy Thanksgiving or, and Happy Halloween and the Halloween ones. I think all those are really cool. Like there are so many frames in this and in all their holiday episodes where it's like, oh, I could take a freeze frame and that's like a great wallpaper.
Yep.
So it is good animation. It's just a very certain style of animation, but it's really funny. And like you said, it's just packed with jokes. And as is true with so many of these, for 11 minutes, they pack in so much story and again, so many nods to Thanksgiving. So the other parts that really killed me is when Trigon is looking for the strongest, meatiest Titan, and Cyborg opens up this panel in his belly, and his belly like squishes out, and he goes, "Give that a little pinch."
Or what did he say? I made the turkey out of your least favorite friend, and Raven goes, "Well, Robin's my least favorite."
Yes. I thought we would just eat your least favorite. Robin's my least favorite. Or when the rats keep showing up, and Robin's like, "He likes bats, not rats. Bats, not rats." And like he says bats, and his hair turned into like bat ears, and then he says rats, and his hair turns into like Mickey Mouse ears.
And that's where it's so frenetic. It's so fast. Everything happens so quick that, for 12 minutes, I feel like I'm watching a 45-minute thing on just fast forward.
Well, and that's why I also had to watch it multiple times because there is so much that happens that like by the time it's over, you forget about the funny stuff at the beginning, Again, like I love the hand turkeys. I assume they still make hand turkeys in schools. You tell me, your kids are a little older than mine.
I think they do. We'll probably get them next week.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because Joey's in preschool, so I'm sure we'll get something like that next week.
Yeah. So anyway, like that's just a fun throwback to like being a kid, making the hand turkeys and using that as the decorations. I love the Batman GPS where you see the bat signal slowly making its way to Titan's Tower, and Robin keeps checking that. Like even the nod to the kids table, because there's a certain point, like they're about to start the meal and they're like, "Robin, where are you sitting?" He goes, "Oh my God, I forgot to put myself on the seating chart." And they're like, "That's okay. You've got the kids table." And it's like this rickety old table and none of the legs match and one of the legs falls off. Cause that's another just infamous part of Thanksgiving is the kids table. And I love that Robin has to sit there by himself. And then, like Starfire, her making that disgusting, like purple thing, her tackling Robin.
There's no explanation with that whatsoever. It's just there. Yeah.
But so like it goes from Thanksgiving feast mode once they finally have all settled on things because Raven finally guilts Trigon into not killing Cyborg. And he says, if your perfect Thanksgiving doesn't include eating one of your friends, then so be it. And so they're all getting ready to eat, and then like a food fight breaks out. And then the thing of Thanksgiving mode immediately goes to food fight. And during the food fight is when Batman actually arrives. And Robin throws a pie, the doors open, it goes right into Batman's face. And I was like, oh, of course. And so Robin storms off because he feels like he ruined Thanksgiving. And here's the thing. I don't think Robin ruined Thanksgiving. I think Robin wanted a perfectly nice Thanksgiving, and his crazy friends ruined Thanksgiving.
Everything else was going off the wall. Robin did everything he could to try to hold it together. Other than the fact that he did smash the turkey.
Well, yes, he did, but the rats were already eating it. But I don't know. I'm a little ADHD the way Robin is. Like I like a plan. I like everything to be nice and in its place. So I think I understand where he's coming from of like, no, it has to look nice. Everything has to be set. And then when, Beast Boy really is the one who ruins it by just more and more rats showing up. But it's the rats who end up saving Thanksgiving. Because Robin goes into his room, he's depressed, Starfire makes him feel better, and they come out, and there's a whole new Thanksgiving dinner on the table. And I love Starfire's line of, "It is the Christmas miracle of the Thanksgiving." And it turns out the rats were so thankful for being invited that they made a whole nother dinner for everybody. And so like, okay, if you listen to the real fans, I always get really sad when Thanksgiving dinner gets ruined and they don't get to eat it. And that's where this was going. So it made me very happy that in the end they had a good Thanksgiving dinner that they could eat. So that was good. But they still didn't have a solution for the turkey. And that's the final joke is they open the little serving plate and it's Batman turned into a turkey.
I forgot the scene where Cyborg is the turkey and they show it's angled where it looks like Trigon is cutting off the head of the turkey.
Yes.
And he's going back and forth. A really funny joke there. We just see the head going back and forth to avoid the knife, the mystical knife.
Well, and when Raven walks in, it's angled in a way that it looks like he is already cut off.
Yes.
Cyborg's head. And so Raven's like, what are you doing? And she even says that. She goes, you come in acting all nice and then you have to do something unspeakably evil. But yeah, so anyway, 11 minutes of Thanksgiving goodness in this episode of Teen Titans Go. Any other thoughts, Joe, or final thoughts?
No, this was really fun. Again, these are so nice to be able to just put on. And I know we're just talking about the Thanksgiving episode, but I will go through the rest of these because they're just so easy to put on and just laugh for 11 minutes. It's great. It's a perfect screensaver in the background, but if you do sit down and watch it, you could watch it 3 or 4 times and catch something new every time. I literally watched this. I've had it on in the background since we've been talking, and I think I watched it once last night. Early in the evening, and then once in bed before I went to bed. So I've at least watched this 3 or 4 times, and I catch something new every time. It's so much fun.
Well, yeah, like a perfect example is when Starfire comes in her football and she says something about like, oh, I am making the tradition of the foot in the ball or something. And when she says it, there's like a tattooed baby foot that comes into the frame. And then a ball, and it's like so random. Like the baby foot is funny, but the fact that it's covered in tattoos is so weird. But yeah, anyway, I agree with you.
Those
like
splash pages you were talking about, like
yes,
it's just
yes, they do. Well, they do a lot of weird stuff like that with like stock images and stuff.
Yes.
Where they pull weird old photos and images and incorporate them like that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's low commitment. It's 11 minutes. It's hilarious. And it is very, very Thanksgiving-y, which is the most important thing for me. The nice bonus of the Teen Titans Go holiday episodes are there ones where Harley won't fight me on watching it. She will be happy to watch these with me. So they're also good to watch with the kids. Yep. So that is great too. So yeah, there are a few. This is the first. Thought we would start with the first. Check it out there. It will get you in the spirit. And then, on Black Friday, watch the Black Friday one. It's pretty funny. Although, I feel like the tradition of Black Friday, in the world of like internet shopping, the tradition of Black Friday just isn't the same anymore.
No, it's not.
But regardless, that one's pretty funny too. So anyway, Teen Titans Go Thanksgiving from season 2. Check it out. And yeah, it'll hopefully add a little bit of holiday cheer into your Thanksgiving. Well, all right. I continue trying to get the Wayne Manor mailbox down to 0. Hasn't happened yet. Let's see how we do today. It's time to check in with you, fine feathered finks, and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren. What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all Master Wayne.
All right, first email here is from Mark Hall. It says, hey all, I love the latest episodes. As always, it's an immense pleasure to listen to, as important to me as the content you discuss. Andy, I couldn't help but think of you this week reading the latest Batman series by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. I'm really hoping no one spoils it for you, but both issues have been superb so far, with issue number 2 being a highlight for you especially. I couldn't help but think of you all the way through. Please let us know when you've read it. I feel it might be the Batman comic series you've been waiting for. A little bit of every era, yet feels completely fresh. Thanks for reading my email. My best to you guys and all your families, Mark. Thanks, Mark. You know what? I'm going to add it to my list. I have not read it yet. Thank you for the heads up. I am going to do that, and I love it.
What is it? The ongoing, or is it a new?
I am going to find out. It's the new Batman series by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah, because I've been looking to try to get back into the current Batman comics. It's not been easy.
I know. So maybe this is a great way to get back in. Mark, thank you so much. I appreciate the heads up.
And yes, it's Batman #1.
Great. All right. That's easy. Thank you. All right. Next email. It's more hot takes from our pal, Rob Reinecke. It says, my hot take is that Christopher Nolan's Batman films are intrinsically flawed by him not understanding and also contradicting Batman's one rule of not killing in every film. He kills Ra's despite denying it. Sure, Gordon pulls the trigger, but it's Batman's plan, Batman's cannons, and Batman distracts Ra's long enough to allow it. He kills Two-Face, he kills Talia and multiple henchmen by deliberately leading missiles into tumblers and unloading on Talia's vehicles, and it's the weapons on the Batpod that kill Bane. Ironic coming from a character like Catwoman, who historically is not a killer. I know you hate guns is an ironic statement at best in context. Sure, you can justify all those actions in context, but it means Batman is okay with finding loopholes in his code. In short, Nolan's Batman is a hypocrite who's content with serving up lies to the people of Gotham too. The no-killing contradiction wouldn't be so bad if the films didn't articulate the theme so forcefully, but they do. Snyder gets a lot of criticism, particularly for the warehouse scene after he supposedly comes back to his original purpose, but Nolan gave Snyder the idea. Doesn't mean that I don't like the films, but in my opinion, it's better to never state a moral code than to break it. As always, it's been a pleasure listening. Robert Reinecke. P.S. I think it's getting clearer that Gunn's master plan is the new frontier. I think the first year has served to set up new McCarthyism to be an obstacle for the heroes, and Rick Flag Sr. certainly seems to be set up to take over the King Faraday role from the series. At least that's my early theory. All right, thanks, Robert. I mean, I would call your hot take a medium take. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think medium. Yeah, because I think people have criticized that over the last few years in defense of Snyder.
Yeah, or just in general. Like, I think that many people have certainly pointed it out that Batman's no-kill rule is squishy at best in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's more of, I've always taken it more of as like he won't be an executioner.
Yeah. Right. But you know,
collateral damage is fine.
Sure. But your point is well taken, especially because you're right. I don't think it would be so bad if he didn't keep saying it out loud.
Yes.
Of like, I don't kill. And then like, you know, the next scene he's, you know, shooting up cop cars. So yeah, I think that just puts more of a light on the hypocrisy. So, you know, it's funny because it certainly doesn't detract from my enjoyment of the movies, but it is a valid point. So yeah, I think it is a very good point, and you've certainly made the case for it here.
Like there's so many like things I could go on with, and just to keep it quickly, my favorite is in Batman Begins where he won't kill the one farmer, so he kills the entire league.
Right.
And then, you know, no guns, no killing, but guns are completely fine on the Batmobile, on the Batpod, and he literally blows Talia away with the cannons on the Bat.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's just it. Is like, yes, he knocks a gun out of Catwoman's hand, and then he open fires from the Bat into the crowd. Yeah.
So again, it never bothers me because again, these are movies, and there are always exceptions and whatever. But I think it's funny when people use it as a critique or a criticism of movies they don't like. You can't forgive it when it's a movie you like, and then criticize it when it's a movie you don't like. You have to be a little bit fair.
Yeah. So anyway, fair. And then as far as Gunn's master plan being the new frontier, I think that's a fascinating theory. It makes me want to revisit the new frontier and then start drawing those parallels myself.
Yeah, the new frontier. I could definitely see that because Gunn seems like that would be something he would definitely want to do. And the new frontier is such a fun way of telling an origin story and trying to keep the DC universe in one group, like to, you know, try to encompass 100 years of canon into a condensed story is not an easy thing to do, but I think the new frontier would be the way to do that.
Yeah. All right, moving forward. Next email is from Brandon McCabe. It says, hey, Holy BatCast crew. I was wondering if you've heard the new Ice 9 Kills song, The Laugh Track. It's a metal song based off the 1989 Batman, and the music video you guys would really love. I recommend you check it out. I know I'm late to the party, but my hot take is I think The Batman is a much better film than The Dark Knight. Don't be going Bane on me. The Dark Knight is my second favorite Batman film. Brandon. Thanks, Brandon. I am not familiar with the song The Laugh Track, but based on your recommendation, I'll have to check it out. Yeah. And as for your hot take that The Batman is better than The Dark Knight, I think that's a pretty hot take. I know that there is a small faction of fandom who say that. So I don't think you're alone, but I think it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with hot too, and I think it has. So I am not critiquing Matt at all. I think he's being sincere. I think there are also people out there that it's like become cool to hate on the Nolan films. So anything after that has been used to hate on the Nolan films. But it's a fair, I mean, if you think that's the case, I mean, some people might look at it as, because, you know, we've always compared the two and thought the Batman is too similar to the Dark Knight. I could see the argument of, yes, it's similar, but I think he did things right, if that's more what you prefer.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to check out that song. Hey, Brandon and listeners, it's Andy from the future, and I did it. I did my homework. I went and checked out that music video, The Laugh Track by Ice 9 Kills, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. I'll tell you, the song, like, I mostly liked, with the exception of the screaming parts. Like, the screaming parts were a little too headache-inducing, but if you took those out, the rest of the song was actually pretty rad, and the video, super rad. I loved it. Great homage to Batman 89 and the Joker's Parade. So cool. So anybody out there listening, I went to YouTube. I checked it out. The Laugh Track, Ice 9 Kills. Dug it. Super cool. Very well done. So thanks for the heads up, Brandon. Really cool. All right. Anyway, back to Andy in the past. Next email. This is from Benjamin. It says, "Hey, Batcasters. I wanted to get in a belated Batman hot take. The Long Halloween is overrated. I don't think it's way overrated. I just think it's overrated. Two reasons. Number one, the art. If 50% of the medium is art, then why does Catwoman look like something my 8-year-old niece could design? Obviously, Tim Sale had talent. I'm saying as a design choice, most of the characters look like trash. The art is way too off the wall for a book that gets so much praise. It's also too off the wall for a story that's supposed to be grounded and noir. I'm pretty baffled that people look at that book and enjoy it, but as you guys say, menus at restaurants. Number two, the gangster movie of it all. I love my fellow Bat fans, and maybe there's a shot in the dark, but I'm not sure they watch enough gangster movies. Meaning, if they watched more, I don't think they would like The Long Halloween as much. Long Halloween is a decent gangster story, but for a book that tries so overtly to be The Godfather, I'm sorry, you ain't Vito Corleone, you ain't Coppola in the 70s, and neither is Matt Reeves. That said, Jeff Loeb is a great writer, and perhaps if Jim Lee drew this book, you never would have gotten this hot take in the Wayne Manor mailbox. Hope you had a good Halloween. May the spooky spirits and pumpkin spice aid Catherine in her ankle healing. Best, Benjamin." Thanks, Benjamin. Joe, I'm going to let you go first.
Well, first, I apologize. I think the last email was from, you said Brandon. I said Matt before. I think Matt was the prior email, so I apologize for that. As far as this hot take, I think this is Michelle Pfeiffer hot. Not just because I completely disagree, but I think, I mean, do you agree? Do you think this is
Yeah, I think so. I think
how adamant he is. Not necessarily saying it's overrated. The pile-on after that is what to me is the spicy, the real hot.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's funny because, yeah, here's the thing. I don't agree with the take, but
I can see how someone could say it's overrated.
But I do understand the note, especially about the artwork. Because even when we reviewed The Long Halloween on this show, the artwork is like, this is something normally I would not like. The artwork is so stylized. It's so different. And that's not usually my thing. For some reason, in The Long Halloween, I do enjoy it, but I understand why someone wouldn't, because it's very off the wall, as you said. So yeah, I totally get it if that artwork isn't your jam. And again, for me, most of the time, it wouldn't be my jam. I think I will definitely give Benjamin this. If Jim Lee drew The Long Halloween, oh, that would be amazing. That would be top tier. I would have loved that, but that's not what we got. So Yeah, it's a very, very hot take, but again, I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and me personally, like I love the styles of the Long Halloween in that book. I don't know, like yes, I love Jim Lee. I don't know if Jim Lee works as well for that noir look for the story. I think the styles maybe, but the colors and all that, depending on who he got for a colorist, all that stuff works very well in the book the way it is to me. I definitely understand it being overrated to an extent. I don't agree. I could see more overused than overrated because it has become such a go-to story. Like we joke about Dark Knight Returns all the time being the one that everyone goes to. I think the Long Halloween is creeping up on that as the one that's being overused too. I mean,
Yeah.
there are other Batman stories out there besides The Long Halloween, Batman Year One, and Dark Knight Returns. And we have to start, kind of going to the other stuff. And I hope that that's what Gunn is looking into because we've been getting kind of the same similar stories over the last, 20 years now? I mean,
Yeah.
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 And again, that's not a criticism. I love most of the stuff we've gotten in the last 20 years. I just think it's time to branch out a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Next message is from our pal Lee Ankrit. And Lee says, "Hey, Holy BatCast. I feel like I'm actually ahead of the curve on a Batman topic for once and not catching up on a podcast news 4 weeks later. So I thought I'd share some really quick thoughts on the new Batman book, Batman Revolution, which I finished a few days ago. Whilst I did enjoy Resurrection, I found the plot quite predictable, and the author seemed to spend way too much effort trying to make connections to the Burton films to keep the storytelling flowing, in my humble opinion. I'm glad to say I didn't feel any of that this time around. It feels like a better story, and the writing is more focused while still keeping it clearly connected to the universe. It manages to close some plot holes while gently connecting 89, Resurrection, and Returns with just enough thread so as not to feel forced, and treats all the legacy characters with a lot of care. Knox finally gets the respect he is due. I think this is my favorite version of the Riddler that we've ever had. I'd love to talk in detail about him, but at the risk of spoilers, I'll just wait to hear your review at some point in hopefully the near future. I loved it. I hope everyone else does too. All the best, Lee." Thanks, Lee, and I appreciate the quick review. Yeah, I have not even started it yet, so that is great to hear. I'm glad you loved it. I'm glad it sounds like you liked it better than Resurrection, because we enjoyed Resurrection for what it was, but I'll always take an improvement. So no, this is really encouraging. Joe?
Pretty much the same. I haven't started it either. I liked what is it? Resurrection is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Resurrection. I thought it was fun, but I don't think it added much to it that I needed. It was just a fun, little. It felt like a comic tie-in or something like that. But it was really fun. I would love a comic tie-in version so we could see the visuals that were so much fun in that.
Yeah.
Because I think the visual aspect of it would be what I liked the most, more than the story. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out Revolution eventually.
Yeah, I know Eric finished it, and he basically put it on par with Resurrection. He's like, I liked it, and there was things that I really liked and some things that I didn't. But I was like, is it better or worse? He goes, it's about the same. So
yeah,
there you go, for what it's worth. Cool. Yep, I will definitely check that out when I get a chance. All right, next message is our old pal Bat Sam from Boston. It says, "Hey Andy and crew, I listened to both hot take episodes, and to make sure I wasn't repeating any hot takes, here is mine." Oh, Bat Sam.
I love that you're still getting hot takes.
I know. Like I said, I opened a can of worms that will not close.
That's the gift that keeps on giving for BatCast emails.
But it's so fun. Like, honestly,
they're fun to talk about too. Like it's easy questions, easy conversation. They've been respectful too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So he says the worst action scene in Batman 66 is still better than the best action scene from Batman 89.
Well, so much for respectful.
I saw that flick in the theater at the tender age of 13, and while everyone was so thrilled with the movie, I walked out of the theater and said to myself, okay, but Batman barely moved. I've been thinking about it ever since. Thank you for the opportunity to divest myself of this hot take. We've done the work. I feel good. Love you guys. Bat Sam from Boston. I think this might be Michelle Pfeiffer hot.
Yeah, I think it's probably Michelle Pfeiffer hot, if not hot. I think it's a fun take, though, because looking back as a kid, man, Batman 66 fight scenes were pretty awesome. So I get where he's coming from, but man, they were cheesy as hell too. So I don't, just because they're moving faster doesn't mean that we can't see that Robin is an old man in
Right.
that's where it's not quite there for me, but I do appreciate the love for Batman 66 because I have a lot of affinity for that show, but I can't necessarily get on board with what he's saying.
Yeah, I understand that, like, yes, mobility was an issue with the suit in Batman 89. I get that, but I absolutely think that Tim Burton and the filmmakers and the stunt doubles and Carl Newman, like, they made it work and made it credible even with the limitations of the suit. So I understand it, but no, I can't. Like,
Yeah, I mean 66 they had to cut away for the pow wham, not for the pow wham, it was done to to avoid them hitting each other. That's why it was there.
yeah. So sure, they could move better in 66, but those scenes, while fun, were always so messy and all over the place. And
Oh yeah.
I feel like the difference in 89 is his movements are very precise because they have to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't get on board with you on this one, but woo, wow. Okay. Thanks, Bat Sam. All right, next one here is from James Warney. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCast crew. I think like a year one type Nightwing." Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of the context here. He's talking about the Brave and the Bold film. He says,
Okay.
I think a year one type Nightwing, less established and learning to do things on his own, would work for Batman the Brave and the Bold. I think it would make sense for a young Dick Grayson, like 18 to 21 years old. So that way we could get our new Batman around his mid to late 30s. That would mean Bruce had started training Dick between 12 and 14. And he was Robin for about 5 or 6 years after being adopted by Bruce in his late 20s. So what do you think? Also, I was listening to another random podcast where they were asked a very important question. Who could play Nightwing? But more importantly, who in Hollywood has the ass to play Nightwing? It was a hilarious question, and also I thought it was a reasonable one. I have a suspicion that the reason the Brave and the Bold is taking so long to lock down is because they're trying to figure out who to bring over from the Bat family to the big screen. I personally don't believe there's any way to use every Robin or Batgirl in the film. Anyway, I hope this wasn't too long. Have a great day, James. Thanks, James. Well, I will say the timing of how to have an early Nightwing in Brave and the Bold, I think that works that works for me. Depending on how old Batman is, you could kind of make Dick Grayson the right relative age. And I think that there are options for that. So I think what you've got here makes sense to me. I'd be okay with that. Joe?
Yeah, I like that idea. That was always how I envisioned it too, was show Dick as a newer version of, or not newer version, but like he's been Nightwing for a short period of time.
Yeah.
I always liked the early stages of Nightwing where him and Bruce are still kind of at odds. They haven't gotten back to to actually working together as well as they did. I like that dynamic a lot. So I think that would work. And I do agree with what he was saying with, they're probably trying to figure out how to tackle the Bat family.
I mean, and that's fair. I mean, we've talked about it too. Is like, yeah, you can't have everyone, so you do have to pick and choose. That's why you don't do Damian.
Yeah, I think you can't fit everyone in one movie, so don't try to. Go slow. Take your time. If you start with Damian, you are forcing yourself to skip or go out of order.
Right.
Where if you just start with Tim Drake, see where it takes you.
Yeah. All right. It'll be very interesting. And then as for who could play Nightwing and who has the ass to play Nightwing, that is an excellent question. I don't have the answer off the top of my head. So later today, I'm just going to be Googling actors' asses. I'm going to make sure I do it at work, though, on my work computer. And just
research,
really dive deep and try to make the most informed decision I can. And I think that's important. You don't want to just throw out asses willy-nilly. You got to study the asses because you got to pick the right ass. And so, yeah, I'm happy to do that for the cause, and I'll keep you posted. Joe, that's your homework too.
I will do my best, but I will also, I think AI can do wonders for people's asses if we do.
Right. All right. Thank you, James. Next one. Oh, this is a fun one. It's from our pal Jay Yaws, because Jay has chimed in with his favorite live action looks after our last episode. So let's see what you got here, Jay. It says, I love the episode, and there were some great picks all around. Since you asked, here are some of my favorite live action DC looks in no specific order. Number 1, Stargirl from Stargirl. Honestly, you could pick almost any costume from the show and it would be the right answer, but I'll go with the title character because she looked like she leapt off the page. And Basinger? Damn it, that old thing. Breck Basinger is one of the best superhero castings of all time. I will take them one at a time. Jay absolutely agreed. She was great as Stargirl. That show is great, so underrated. And yeah, her costume was perfect.
Agree. I wish if I didn't bring up Stargirl at all, I definitely meant to. Same thing as Titans. You know, it was every character on that show had a great costume, and they were definitely, that show did not get enough love.
Yep, agreed. Number 2, first appearance Superman on Superman and Lois. Tyler Hoechlin quietly became one of, if not the best Superman actors to ever play the role. He also had one of the best suits for a brief shining moment. All of his official costumes were fine, but the Fleischer-inspired costume that his mom made was beautiful. Agree. We did mention it briefly on the episode, but absolutely agree that was such a cool surprise in that pilot, and that costume does look great.
Yep, same. Agree. Nothing to add.
It goes back to what Brendan said, though, which is like the padding was just a little weird. The suit was great.
On all of his suits.
Yeah, the padding just never quite got there. Mm-hmm. Number 3, the Kingdom Come Superman from CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's wild that the 2 best Superman suits were both from the CW. Brandon Routh was thankfully given another chance at playing Superman, and he looked absolutely incredible in the Alex Ross-inspired costume. It's a shame that he hasn't had a chance to don the cape since. Yeah, this one was awesome. I absolutely agree. The Kingdom Come look from Crisis was terrific.
Agree. I considered even putting that on my list if I didn't already have a Superman on my list, because that suit, Jay's right, with it being CW, and I don't even mean this as a slight to the CW as a network. It's more the budget. Like they were able to make two of the best Superman suits ever on the budget, and that one looks like a movie budget suit. That one is really nice.
Yeah, agree. Number 4, Dr. Fate from Black Adam. Fate is one of the best costume designs in comics, and to me, it's one of the few live-action costume translations that was busied up to its benefit. The simple, clean look works great on the page, and it could have worked in live action as well, but adding a bunch of runes to the costume, making the helmet asymmetrical, and giving it a bunch of details really sells just how weird Fate can be. And it doesn't hurt that Pierce Brosnan was cast either. Agreed. I absolutely loved, honestly, I loved all the costumes from Black Adam. I thought they were all great, but yeah, Dr. Fate, it was definitely changed, but it is awesome.
Yep, agree. I love that suit. You're right. I think all the costumes in that movie were great. Yeah, perfect. They just went from like Jay said, they added a little bit to what was in the comics and made it work for the movie.
Yep. And then finally, he goes to 10. Sorry. I thought he was just doing 5, but he goes up to 10. All right. Number 5, Blue Beetle from Blue Beetle. You guys mentioned it on the episode, so I'll make it an official choice. Perfect. No notes. Absolutely. The Blue Beetle costume in the Blue Beetle movie, 100% perfect. A++++. They couldn't have done better if they tried.
Agree. I love the Blue Beetle costume. It's straight off the page. And it looks just like the Young Justice costume too from the movie or from the show.
We often say perfect, but this truly was perfect. Number 6, Jim Gordon from Batman Begins. It says it's live action looks, not live action superheroes. Oldman was perfectly cast as Gordon, and he looked like he was a Dave Mazzucchelli illustration come to life. Also agreed. I mean, I absolutely love Oldman as Jim Gordon, and in Batman Begins, when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, of course, that's Jim Gordon.
Yeah, it never occurred to me to even pick someone that wasn't a superhero, but yeah, dead on. He's perfect.
Yep. Number 7, Batgirl from Batgirl. This one still stings because Leslie Grace looked perfect in the few shots that we saw of her in costume. Yep, I really dug the costume. It looked like there were more than one in the movie, but we'll never know for sure. And I really liked it. And that is another one that's just always going to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah, agree that those both of them, because I know we got a glimpse of the purple one in a behind the scenes shot. I would have loved to have seen them in action.
Yep. Number 8, Batgirl from Birds of Prey. Less painful, but a great look. People who haven't seen the show know that this Batgirl costume is great, which tells you something. Yep, agreed. I still have a soft spot for the show. I get that it's weird and it's not great, but I still have a soft spot. But part of that is because it's Dina Meyer as Barbara Gordon. I love Dina Meyer. I love Barbara Gordon. She was so good. And then I love that they found a way to suit her up in the show, and she looked amazing.
Yeah, they took the Batman and Robin costume and just improved on it.
Yep. And actually gave her the cowl.
Yep.
Number 9, the Floronic Man from Swamp Thing. Since you already mentioned Swamp Thing, I'll bring up the amazing, terrifying take on Floronic Man 2. Agreed. And we only saw him like in that like post-credit scene, right?
Yeah, it was a tease because I think they were gonna do more with him, but we got
Yeah.
the tease in the last episode. Yeah,
But yes, this is another one where it's fully practical and it is so badass.
yeah.
And then finally, number 10, the Penguin from Batman 66. Because I'd be remiss if I didn't mention someone from the 60s series. All the characters have a nostalgic charm to them, but like Robin and the Riddler, Penguin manages to perfectly adapt the character's look from the comics, where it works within the context of the show and is simply a great look in general. Nope, no argument here. I mean, this is the quintessential classic Penguin look, and Burgess Meredith pulls it off beautifully.
Yeah, right when he started saying, or right when you started reading what he was saying, I can't disagree. The Penguin from that show, he looks like the Penguin. There's no notes involved. He looks like the perfect version of that from that era.
Yep. And then Jay closed out by saying this was fun. More episodes like this, please. Agreed. We had a great time doing it, and yeah, always trying to mix it up. Glad you dug it. All right. Let's do one more, and that means I still haven't cleaned out the mailbox, but we got things to do. But we'll do one more, and the rest will just have to wait. This is from Alex De Silva, and it's another late hot take. It says, "Hey guys, here's my hot take. James Gunn's music shtick was perfected with Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's already become old with his DC stuff. The needle drops and the one-shot action sequences set to pop and rock songs are nothing new at this point, since audiences know to expect that from him. He should move on to a different shtick to truly separate his DC stuff from Guardians. Live long and prosper, Alex." All right, thanks, Alex. So, how hot is this take, Joe?
I mean, is that medium now? Do I feel like people are kind of in the same boat with that lately? Because it has kind of gotten to that point? Because I agree with him, but I don't know if I'm the one that's kind of putting that off. I don't know.
That's what I don't even. This might be a somewhat mild take, because even the people who like it are still kind of like acknowledge, like, oh yeah, like this is James Gunn being James Gunn.
And I feel like for Guardians, it worked because it was part of the story, where I think he found the perfect way to incorporate the music he wanted based on the story. Mm-hmm. Where now he's just, hey, this is my thing, take it. And like there's no story reason for the pop music beats in Superman.
Yeah.
You know, luckily there's only a couple in Superman. But like as far as Peacemaker, that became like his trademark with Peacemaker is the metal, and he tried to incorporate that into the show to an extent. But yeah, it's becoming his trope at this point, unfortunately, and I want to see less of it. And I feel like if he can't make a movie and not do it, it's becoming more noticeable and more, dare I say, annoying.
Yeah.
And I like James Gunn. I'm not using this to criticize him, because I do love the music in the Guardians movies. But I guess it also, because music is so subjective, if you don't like the music, you're not going to care for the choice regardless.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And you bring up such a good point, whereas in Guardians, yes, it absolutely added the flavor to those films and a little bit of a quirky sensibility, but it was also built into the story because of Star-Lord's Walkman.
Yes.
and the connection with his mother. And so the fact that like the mixtape was such a part of the story, and then throughout the movie we learn all the songs on the mixtape, that is like just, it's integrated so well that it just feels more organic to the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas when it happens in Superman, it just kind of happens and you go, oh, okay, James Gunn being James Gunn. And so it does, yeah, like you said, it feels more like a trope, it feels more like a crutch, and it's just not, it doesn't feel as natural. So yeah, this is a hot take I do agree with. It's not a deal breaker, but it definitely does feel like he leans on it a little too much, and it would be nice if he didn't feel the need to. And the one-shot action sequences, some of them I really like, some of them less so. Like even in Superman, I love the Mr. Terrific scene. I think it's great. Mm-hmm. And that's the perfect example of like James Gunn being James Gunn. But I think that sequence is awesome. It's exciting. It's well choreographed. It's well shot. I really like it. The song, I could take or leave, is what it is. But like later on when Superman's fighting Ultraman, there's another like one-shot fight that I don't like as much because they look kind of distorted when they're doing it. Do you know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that one I'm not as into because because of the weird angle and the way the camera's moving around, the characters look distorted. So yeah, I think that I'm not saying you can never do it because I like it when certain filmmakers do it, and I even like it sometimes when James Gunn does it. But yeah, I think a little more variety would go a long way. That's my long way of saying I do agree.
And I also think we're at a weird time right now where we're kind of on James Gunn overload.
Yes.
Sad, and I like James Gunn, but we've gotten how much of only James Gunn content in the DC universe lately.
Well, I mean, I said that relatively recently is like, and I think you and Eric said it too, which is like right now in this new DC universe, all the projects we've gotten have all been James Gunn projects.
Yeah. Going back to even the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker season 1 and 2, Creature Commandos, now Superman.
Yeah.
They've all been James Gunn written and mostly directed. Peacemaker, obviously, he went back and forth. And Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we have gotten a lot of James Gunn. It's going to be, I think, a nice change of pace to get Lanterns and Supergirl and get some other sensibilities to mesh in there and give us a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm closing the mailbox. There is still more in there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. They will be, but I will save them. They will be there until next time. But we got to close it up. We got other things we got to do. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. As always, please send your thoughts, your questions, your hot takes, your favorite DC live action looks, all that fun stuff. Send it to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com. And Joe, this week I am thankful for you for joining me, and I'm thankful to everybody out there in internet land for listening to us talk about this nerdy stuff.
No, thank you. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for even Brendan. I'm thankful for
let's not get crazy.
I know. Even though he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving over there in Australia land. But no, and I'm thankful for all the RF or RM content over the years of Thanksgiving. I have dove deep into all your Thanksgiving specials the last couple weeks, so that's been a lot of fun too. You guys are always bringing some fun Thanksgiving content, and I was lucky enough to be a small part of it today. So thanks for having me on here, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, I love that you went back and listened to them all. I'm a little honored. I think that's very nice.
It's been a weird. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of free time at work, just because of the way my job works. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and it's been a slow couple months with podcasts lately. So I was like, oh, you know what? That's an opportunity to go back and maybe pick up on some of the specials that I didn't watch when you guys covered them. So.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad you did that. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And speaking of, the new Real Fans for Real Movies Thanksgiving special is out now. So for those of you listening, if you want some more Thanksgiving content in your podcast feed, go check out RF for RM. Me, Michael, and Scotty recommend 3 more episodes of Thanksgiving TV for you. And they're really fun. Anyway, people already know this, but if you want to hear more about or more from Joe, as well as Eric, you can go check out The Fire Rises, the other Batman podcast out there. Holy BatCast light.
And we are not we do not hide that fact. We admit it wholeheartedly. And what is it? I'm gonna screw up the term, but duplicate, or what are we? Copying is the largest form of flattery.
Yes, yeah. Imitation is the highest form of
Imitation, that was the
flattery.
word. Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, I appreciate it. I was gonna say, like, hey, while I go out of town for a few weeks, check out The Fire Rises, but you guys aren't doing it any more. You're not doing more episodes
any
than
more
we
frequent.
are.
No, we're much more worse than you actually at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll get one out soon enough.
Great. Anyway, I already told you guys where to find me, but thank you truly for listening and checking us out. I am thankful for all of you out there for all of your support of Holy BatCast over the years, which is now, God, I think we're coming up on 12 years now. I think it'll be 12 years in February. But yeah, thank you all so much for continuing to be there and listening and sending your thoughts and your input. Really do appreciate y'all. Please do follow or subscribe to the show. If you like the show and you've never rated us, give us a 5-star rating. That would really be awesome. Check out the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Again, if you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address again is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Gaurav Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And that'll do it. Thanks so much for joining us. On behalf of Joe, I've been Andy. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. And please, please, please have a very happy Thanksgiving. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for. Find your meatiest friend, cook him up, make him the turkey. That wouldn't be Brendan.
No, that would be a pretty sad turkey.
That would be a real. That would be like the turkey in Christmas Vacation, where it's like
just a little dry.